Okay, guys, I'm delighted to be joined by the Nature Boy, the 16-time world champion. Ric Flair is joining Talk Wrestling ahead of WrestleMania. Rick, first of all, during these crazy times, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, thank you. Just like everybody else, practicing all the social things that we need to do right now, the separation, the distancing, and uh, hoping that my family stays healthy and safe and, weathering the storm like everybody else, waiting for us to overcome this, which we will.
No doubt, Rick. Couldn't agree more on that one. But let's change gears and jump into WrestleMania. One thing I'm actually interested to talk to you about is the Randy Orton Edge angle. A lot of wrestlers that I've spoken to, they think it's the hottest angle heading into WrestleMania. You know Randy about as well as anyone. Some might
Yes.
say he's a little bit underappreciated by some fans around the WWE fact just how great he really is. Don't you think he was the perfect foil for Edge now that we look at it and heading into the angle this weekend?
Oh, for sure. Nobody's higher on Randy Orton than me. I think right now he's doing some of the best work he's ever done. I think Edge is too. I think that Randy has done and accomplished so much, and he's been there a long time. People don't realize it, but every time he says something, it's the truth. And his ability, his level of ability, his health right now is great. And Randy is, at the top of his game, which, makes him, in my opinion, the number one guy. And it's the thing about Randy is he's so good that I think just because he is and he's been there so long, you think, gosh, can he get any better? And he just continues if given the opportunity to shine. So, I mean, I hope he retires soon so I can get my third ring. But at the same time, he's really good and a very important part of their TV.
Yeah, 1000%. I think he's been doing stellar work. Some of the between those two, the promo work they've done in the empty arena has been absolutely stellar.
Yeah, I mean, Seth Rollins cut the best promo I've ever heard him cut the other night with Kevin Owens. Those two guys have done a heck of a job. But to me, that may be the best promo I've ever heard Seth cut, and it was to an empty arena. So he's doing. Everybody's working at a very high rate. They're not letting the fact that there's no audience affect their level of performance. That's because they're pros and this is what they're born and bred to do.
Well, let's talk about Triple H as another man from Evolution who, of course, has gone on to do tremendous things with NXT and his vision of the business, which, of course, helped Charlotte as well make her way through WWE.
Yeah.
When you was in Evolution with Triple H, did you think that he had, I guess the vision to make something like this realized? Like you knew the brain that he had for the business, right?
Oh yeah, he's always from the first time I met him, he's been not only an unbelievably good performer, but he's been very smart. And when given the opportunity, however it came about, to start to contribute to the creative part of it, he's been a huge asset. I mean, his work in the ring is second to none, and as an asset to the brain trust that works behind the creative end of it, orchestration. He's a huge part of that as well, and deserves a lot of respect for both.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's great as well that Charlotte is having this kind of full circle match at WrestleMania where she's going for the NXT title, a brand that
Yeah.
she helped build against a star in the making, or maybe she already is in Rhea Ripley. How proud are you to see her return? She's one of the biggest stars in WWE, regardless of gender. And now she's helping the next generation. Like she's that much of a star, she can help the next generation come through too.
Well, you know me. I'm. People are going to say I'm biased, but she's the female. She's on their side of the roster. She's Orton. Um,
Yeah.
Younger, less time in the business, but she's picked it up, and the art of being able to make somebody look good and make the match the priority rather than what you are capable of doing or not doing is what separates the good from the greats. And she's been in that conversation as the greatest ever, I think, since Dallas. And after the conversation becomes more solidified as the greatest ever every time she goes out there, and you have an opportunity to compare, her skills with somebody else. But I know that she was excited, looked forward to it, and she certainly didn't look at it as being a step down. She looked at it as an opportunity to wrestle someone else who has a lot of skill and a great work ethic. Rhea is a great girl. I've only, been around her a couple times, but she's phenomenal, and it's going to be a tremendous match. I'm sure of it.
I've got to ask, circling back to WrestleMania, one of my favourite WrestleMania moments is the whole end, the crescendo between you and Shawn Michaels with the "I'm sorry, I love you" and the super kick. Can you just tell us like a little bit about what went into that moment in terms of you two putting it together? Because the emotion was just amazing. And does that rank as your favourite WrestleMania moment?
Yes. Yeah, by far. And that wasn't rehearsed. That wasn't even discussed. I mean, that just was raw, pure emotion. And
that's amazing.
I mean, yeah, and he knew that I didn't want to leave. I think Vince knew that too, but it was time. And as I've said earlier today, I wish that I had never wrestled again, and that was my last match. But I think I've outlived, thank goodness, the things that I did after that, and I'm hopefully will be remembered as that being the last thing I did in wrestling.
I think as far as the rubber stamp goes,
aside from doing stuff with my daughter, which has been a tremendous treat for me.
Oh yeah, of course. And now I know that we don't have that much time. With your time is extremely precious. So let's get to some WrestleMania predictions to close out here. What kind of people are you extremely high on that you expect to see big things from? If someone as dialed in as you, there must be some performers that you expect to make a real showing of themselves.
Well, I'm intrigued by all of it. I'm really intrigued about. I think Bray Wyatt is phenomenal. We all know that John Cena is. Adam or Edge and Randy, Charlotte and Rhea. Heck, I can't just pick one or two out. I'm looking forward to seeing Dolph wrestle Otis. I mean, they've packed the card. It's good. There's not a weak link in it, and these are some of the greatest athletes in sports. And this is the opportunity, because people are tired of watching old programming, to go out and demonstrate who they are and how good they are.
Yeah, I don't think you could have put it better.
Obviously, I'm looking to Charlotte and Rhea to steal the show, though. And I feel like I'm comfortable making that prediction.
Yeah, well, when Charlotte is one of the best big time match deliverers.
Not John. She's the showstopper now.
Mrs. WrestleMania.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Ric Flair. I can't tell you what a thrill it is for me to finally get the chance to talk to you. And I just hope that I hope you ride out this storm well.
I am. Thank you so much. You too. Stay healthy.
Thank you, man. Before you leave, can I get a quick Ric Flair textbook listen to talk wrestling and a woo, please?
This is Talk Wrestling, and this is the Nature Boy Ric Flair live. Woo!